Hi, and welcome to Creator Fundamentals. My name is Dan Currier, and I am here to help you deliver your value to the world. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us on Wednesday night, like we always do. That's every Wednesday night, weekly, 9 p.m. Eastern, where we have our subscriber hangout. The subscriber hangout is all about you guys, any questions that you have. We'll get to some channel reviews later on. I'm not seeing the best bit rate on the stream tonight, so definitely let me know how the video looks. I'll try to make adjustments as we go along. Hopefully it'll clear up, but another Wednesday night. I hope most of you guys tuned in last week when we spent nearly 3 hours with Daryl Eves talking about YouTube and getting your questions answered from the man himself. So gonna jump into the chat, say hello to everybody. It's always great to see people jump in the live stream nice and early. In fact, there were some people out there hanging out and waiting for the live stream to kick off. So let's hop in there, say hello to everybody. Hopefully the video feed is manageable. Audio looks good on my end, but definitely let me know if you see anything funky out there for sure. We had Awesome Mark, Miriam Havard, LNA, is it Elna Girl or LNA Girl? Frankie J, Ryan Films, Animation, Random Videos, Instant Rye Play out there as well. Good to see some familiar faces. Christian Gabriel Groman, Frankie J, we got Leon Plays, Mobile Cats, Doug Houston, Mr. Moderator. Needs more subs out there as well. Good to see you guys. RPM Nexus, we have Harry Heathen, Mind Shocker Games, Tamandua Girl. I was actually just looking at one of your videos about the fox. That's a pretty cool little critter there. And who else we have? Super Enthused out there as well. Sup, it's 8. Good to see you guys. My Stuttering Life also in live stream. Kel Preston, Law Enforcement Explains, Artie Franklin, Shadow Speedy, some familiar faces and new faces. Harley out there as well. Good to see you. I think that covered Marksman Beast out there as well. Great to have everybody here. Again, like I said, we do this every Wednesday night. No particular topic to start off with. I like to let you guys decide what we want to talk about. I can definitely bring in some things to talk about if you guys don't have any questions. You know, I have to confess a little bit. Something that I never imagined that I would be interested in, but how many of you guys have been following the recent multi-part series that Shane Dawson has put out? Some of them have gone to #1 on trending, and they're edited so well, the way that they set them up as series and you know, cliffhangers and keep everybody engaged. I think it's a really great lesson in how to create engaging content. So I'm curious how many of you guys have actually been following Shane. He did a series with Tana after TanaCon. I think that was like a 3-video series that worked wonders for Shane's channel. And now he's doing one with Jeffree Star, which is definitely some interesting content, but the way in which it's put together is it's just fascinating to watch how good of a job they do at actually making you interested to wait for the next video. So for those of you who don't know, Shane Dawson is kind of like he's kind of an OG out there. He's been around for like 12 years, I think. And gone through a lot of different changes. He's done like some conspiracy theory videos, but this year he's pulled out these multi-part series things, and his channel has exploded even more. He's getting millions and millions of views. Like I said, some of the videos went as high as #1 on YouTube trending. So whether you're interested in the people themselves, the composition of the work is just really fascinating. All right. PuffCat221, I've watched all of his series. He just came out with the latest video today, and it looks like there's going to be even more parts. So, hey, Chris Conkle Vlogs out there as well. Good to see you. We have On The Reel as well. Science Gal Aquatics, hello. Good to see you. As you'll see, some of those with the wrenches, you'll see down in the patrons list scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much for the patrons of Creator Fundamentals. You definitely help make this all possible, and it just allows the channel to continue to grow. And as a result, you will see them in every live stream scrolling across the bottom of the screen. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. All right. We have Ultra HD God, Sure Productions. Suppets 8, Creative Fundamentals. Have you seen the new Michael Jackson video that just came out? I have not seen that. Frankie J always wondered, what program do you use to edit your videos? Now I use Premiere Pro. When I first started, I was using a program called Filmora. I used that for about 100 videos and kind of switched over at the beginning of this year. I actually had Premiere Pro for several months before I started using it. And when 2018 rolled around, I said, you know, because I kept trying to use it and I didn't know what I was doing, so I would default back to Filmora. But when 2018 rolled around, I decided that I just had to, that I couldn't use the other software. I had to figure out how to use Premiere Pro, and that's what I've been using since January. That's interesting that there's a new Michael Jackson video. I mean, I've certainly seen that before, where they take footage that hasn't been released and do something, but I'm not familiar with the story behind this particular Michael Jackson video that he's talking about here. So let's see. Sure Productions asking, a new Michael Jackson. Yeah, apparently that's what Suppets 8 is talking about here. Hopefully they can enlighten us with a little more detail about what the new Michael Jackson video is. I can't say that I'm actually up on that, but I'm curious, if we did a quick YouTube search, is there actually something popping up for Michael Jackson? Yeah, I mean, I don't see. Let's see, by upload date, what do we got? Anything new about Michael? Yeah, it's hard to tell. There's so much different stuff out there. I'm not sure what that's all about, but in any event. VKG coverage, Camtasia, I enjoy for editing so far. Yeah, I actually know there's a guy by the name of Gord Eisman. He has a YouTube channel by the same name, and he does all kinds of Camtasia tutorials. So if you're new at Camtasia and you're looking for some tutorials on that, you can definitely check out Gord Eisman. It's I-S-M-A-N. You can just search for his name; he'll pop up. But he has a lot of Camtasia content. Civil Guy says, I want to switch to Premiere Pro at some point. Yeah, the reason that I went to Premiere Pro is because I wanted to, as I continue to grow, I wanted to develop kind of industry standard skills. And it was basically like Premiere Pro or Final Cut, somewhere in there, something that's kind of wide range that a lot of people use. So I decided, because I'm a PC user or a Windows user, that I would go with Premiere Pro. And then halfway through last year, I upgraded my systems and did the bought a year of Premiere Pro, and now I've been using it for about 8 months now. Still have a lot to learn, but I'm at least proficient in it, and I can make all the videos that I make now are in Premiere Pro. Kel Preston, Dan, I'm new to your channel and love it. You will go so far and already have. When did you start and what made you want to start? Well, thank you so much, Kel Preston, for joining the channel. It's a pleasure to have you as a subscriber and also on the live stream. This particular channel started in June of last year, so June 2017. I started a couple years before that with my other channel called The Average Dan. When I put The Average Dan together, the idea behind that was just an average person trying to problem solve, and basically how, you know, car repairs and things, problems that I ran into that didn't have good videos out there on how to resolve them. I started making videos that way. Did that for a couple years. April of last year, I decided I wanted to, quote unquote, get serious about how YouTube works. From April to June, I was implementing all the best practices that I had learned by watching a ton of videos, and realized that they made a significant difference in how my channel was performing. So in June is when I got the idea that I wanted to create a channel dedicated to that, and I started this channel. I wanted this channel to be not positioned as an expert or anything like that, but to be an example of what you can actually achieve if you just apply the best practices consistently over time. So since June, I have been doing that. We were able to reach over 10,000 subscribers in 10.5 months. We are now at, I guess we would be at 14 months. So 14, or we'll be at 14 months in about a week. And we are a couple hundred subscribers shy of 14,000 subscribers. So still growing. There was some weird stuff that went on in March, or in May and June with how the channel was performing. Had a lot of, I think YouTube was making some changes. There was a lot of random fluctuation going on with the existing content, but end of June, July, it started to pick up and head in a positive direction. So we are continuing to grow, and hopefully we will continue to do so. Got all kinds of things planned. I have a list of stuff on the whiteboard next to me, projects and things that you guys will be seeing in the coming months and this year and next year that I can't wait to get to. But for those of you who don't know, I do still work full-time. This is something I do as kind of a side gig, a part-time venture, and I usually do the work to grow this channel between the hours of 9 p.m. at night and midnight. So a little limited on time. I'm a father of two, married, and have a full-time job. So this is all stuff that I try to take care of after the kids are in bed, and get it done and still get enough sleep to go to work the next day. All right. VGK, the most impressive thing besides from Creator Fundamentals subscribers is how much it has helped other channels grow. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that feedback. That is absolutely the goal. The success of this channel is definitely based on how you guys grow, and it's not even complicated. It's just being able to take the best practices and apply them consistently. You don't have to be an expert to start, as long as you pick one thing. Pick one thing and work on getting better at it. You know, maybe it's your lighting, maybe it's your camera angle, maybe it's your storyline or how you compose your videos. If you go back and look at the very first video on this channel, very cringy by now, and it's only been a year, but you learn so much by approaching it as one little piece at a time. One of my favorite quotes expressions is, how does a mouse eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. You don't look at the whole big thing or where you're trying to get to. You just have, laser vision on that one little thing you want to improve. Once you've improved that, you move on to the next little thing. A year from now, you look back and there's 50, 100 little things that you've improved upon, and the difference is very obvious. So that is kind of the goal, how I try to approach this. On the same token, I don't get so caught up in trying to grow faster. The growth of this channel was basically doing all those little things over time and having a couple videos kind of pop, if you will, and take off and help the channel grow. But I'm very cautious not to get caught up in that, because sometimes when you see other channels grow, it's really easy for you to go, oh, well, maybe if I do 5 videos a week or 3 videos a week, then I can grow faster than them. You really need to drop the idea of trying to compete with others, because ultimately it's just going to get you into a bad habit of trying to over hustle, and you're going to burn out. So I've tried to remain consistent and make sure that I'm constantly putting out content. But at the same time, I don't compare this channel to other channels that may be growing faster than me at times, because I don't want to put the additional pressure on this process and make it less enjoyable for me. So VGK, no, I'll have to look at that. Did you happen to see my problem I sent you on Facebook? I just got monetized and it killed my drive. Oh, you mean like your motivation because you finally reached a goal? That absolutely happens, if that's what you're referring to. Unless you're talking about the actual production of, or the channel itself. You'll have to clarify that. I have not seen it on Facebook yet, unfortunately. All right, here, let me just scroll up real quick since I was off on kind of a rant there, or a tangent. Make sure that I didn't miss anybody. All right. Mind Shocker Games got 50 subs in 2 days. Awesome. Congrats on that. The important thing is whether it's a record for you. If it's better than you've done in the past, then that is fantastic. Hello to, is it? I'm going to mispronounce this. I'm not sure if it's Populu Music. Hello to you as well. And I apologize if I did not pronounce that correctly. I saw some others out here. We covered that. Michael Jackson's Behind the Mask was a song made originally for his Thriller album, and then a new video for it was released just recently. Cool. Have to check that out. All right, what else do we have in here? We have Frankie J. Thank you for bringing TubeBuddy into my life. The tag feature has helped me so much. Absolutely. For those of you guys who don't know, and this is a great segue, this live stream and the videos on my channel are sponsored by TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is the #1 browser plugin for managing and growing your YouTube channel. It's available to download for free, and there's a link in the description below. And for those of you who are wondering, I used TubeBuddy way before they ever sponsored the channel. In fact, it was loving TubeBuddy and getting to know the people who run TubeBuddy that ultimately led to their sponsorship of the channel. So really good people, really good guys. For those of you who may have seen the video I did a while back where I was able to pair up with some other YouTubers and buy a fellow YouTuber a laptop because he had some really bad luck and a couple of his laptops crashed, etc. But at that time I actually reached out to Phil, who runs TubeBuddy, and he graciously donated some money to help make that a possibility. So it's not only a great product, it's a great company with a bunch of great people who work for it. So if you've never tried TubeBuddy, definitely download it. Definitely download the free version. You have absolutely nothing to lose there. And then if you're just starting out, you kind of get a feel for it. There are some additional features that are super helpful, super time-saving with some of the paid tiers. And they actually have a pretty good process of giving you like pretty good discounts if you're like a brand new channel or under a certain size. So definitely check it out. Let's see where we're at here. So real quick in the chat, how many of you guys, here, let's do it this way. I want you to tell me in the chat whether you consider your YouTube channel a business or a hobby. So either write just business or write hobby. I'd like to see what you guys, how you guys are approaching your YouTube channel. So just one word, either business or hobby, to let me know how you're approaching your YouTube channel. All right. Suppets8, how many subscribers did you get before you got a sponsor? I was probably in the couple. I'd have to go back and look because I gained a lot of subscribers in a really short period of time due to a couple videos kind of exploding. So maybe a couple thousand, but I had already developed that relationship with TubeBuddy way before that. Miriam had her first live stream. Congrats to you. That's awesome. It's the most important thing of creating videos is starting. So congrats on getting that done, and good luck to you in your future live streams. Harry Heathen, I don't think about growth, just keep concentrating on improving each video and upload at my own pace. I love what I do. I feel I wouldn't enjoy this if I was pressured to compete against others. And that's the trick. That's the magic. To really succeed, don't focus on trying to succeed. Focus on doing the little things. You know, it's the same way in sports. You don't stare at the scoreboard and try to figure out how many points you're down. You just focus on the play at hand and what you have to do to either score or move the ball or whatever the case is, whatever your sport of preference is. But absolutely, live in the moment and try to make little improvements in that moment. Let's see, a tip or two for growing your channel from the beginning. And I've seen all of your videos already, but would love to get a live tip. Tip or two for growing your channel from the beginning. Where to start? Tips for growing your channel from the beginning. I think one of the really big things, one of the big mistakes that people make, if your goal is growth, is being too wide, which basically covering any kind, making a video about anything that pops into your head. It's cool if you want to do kind of a personality channel and you're expecting it to take a long time to grow and you're going to do a vlog and maybe you did a video about your trip to the mall and then, you know, maybe you're doing skateboard videos and then makeup tutorials. If you are content with a slower growth, that may be a possibility, but the reality is it's really hard to grow a community around that when the people are subscribing to your channel for a particular thing. The person who subscribes to your channel is going to do that most likely based on a single video that they've watched. So like on this channel, if somebody catches one of my videos, maybe it's the how to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. They have an expectation on future videos that they're going to get more content related to what they signed up for. So one of the biggest things you can do when you're starting a YouTube channel is to focus it on a particular niche, a particular subject, and stay within that subject on all the videos that you upload. A lot of you kind of have to make some sacrifices if growth is your focus and you're not just making content to enjoy making content. But that absolutely being able to focus in will help you grow exponentially faster than you would if you're just making random videos about every other stuff, because that person who signs up for the, you know, how to fix a car, and then 2 videos later, you're doing a video about your cat. And then 2 videos later, you're doing a video about a makeup tutorial. There's a disconnect between what they signed up for and what they're getting. So a lot of them will leave. Others will just stop paying attention to your notifications, and then they might as well not be subscribers because it's just one more junk email in the mix and they're not going to come back and watch your content. And subscriber count doesn't matter if they're not engaged subscribers, active subscribers who actually are interested in watching and listening to what it is that you're doing. So that would be the one tip, to focus on that. Chris Boyer, Dan, do you have any thoughts about the Alex Jones debacle? You know, I was going to do a video about the Alex Jones situation. But I didn't want to dive too deep into the, well, first of all, I think there's a lot of politics involved in that. I also think Alex Jones can be pretty wacky sometimes. Politics aside, just the way he does stuff, not his opinions on things. That's a completely different topic. What I found interesting about Alex Jones and the way that all went down, and for those of you who don't know, Alex Jones had a basically a conservative channel, a right-leaning channel, or some may say extreme right channel, but that's all based on everybody's perspective on that. But he definitely had some weird stuff that he would do sometimes, and he kind of went beyond the politics. But all that aside, I found it interesting that it seemed like there was multiple news outlets or platforms that all banned him at once. It kind of seemed like it was a concentrated effort to shut him down, or to silence him across all outlets, which I thought was a little weird. based on the timing of it. So some people speculated it was because there were elections coming up, and but definitely don't want to get into a whole political debate about it for sure. But I did think it was kind of odd. But yeah, I mean that's kind of the most I can really get into that. It did stand out to me how everybody did it at once. My stuttering life, Dan, if I buy Premiere Pro, do I need to buy Audition also, or does Premiere Pro have good audio component? So I know a lot of people swear by breaking out their audio and adjusting their audio separately. I actually don't do it for this channel. To improve my audio, I did it with hardware, meaning instead of, so when I originally started, or this year when I was recording videos, I was recording them with the Rode video mic that was mounted on top of my my DSLR, my Canon T7i. I ended up switching the settings to manual because what the DSLRs tend to bring in the audio way too high and kind of distort it. So I did some research on that and found that I could go into manual settings, reduce the input on that, and that improved the audio a little bit, but it still wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. So then I went out and I bought an $18 mic stand, which looks like this guy right here. See if I can actually get, let's see here. This that actually allows me to put, when I'm doing my standard videos, allows me to get that microphone just below my scene, so the microphone's essentially right in my face, and that improves my audio drastically. Now, if you're doing a channel where you're going for like a cinematic effect and audio is really important, then yeah, a lot of people do process the audio separately and kind of, improve it and normalize it and stuff like that. So I don't actually do the whole separate audio thing. But as far as Premiere Pro, I mean, there are some things you can do in Premiere Pro. The people that I know that are focused on the audio do it separately. So they would use something like Audition or Audacity or one of those things. So if that tells you anything about the people who are really high on the audio using the separate program, then I think you might need to do that outside of Premiere Pro. All right, here, scrolling down, had some, I want to get back to those. All right, so finally getting to the question that I asked earlier, whether it was a hobby or a business. Let's see what we got. We got hobby, neither. Business. Hobby, business. We got a little bit of a mix out there. A lot of people that are approaching it as a hobby. For those of you who did say hobby, why do you consider it a hobby? Here's a better question. So if it's a hobby to you, do you care about monetization, or is that not important to you at all? And if you do consider it a hobby, why don't you think about it as a business? Or have you ever, and why have you chosen to consider it a hobby? Because I kind of have some thoughts on that I'll share with you in a little bit here about the whole hobby approach. Let's see. Evolutionary Tom, hobby, CEO by day, creator by night. All right. We covered that for CG entrepreneur. Barnyard Chicken, hello to you too. Live Games Wild, smash the like, and definitely when you're in the live stream now and you've not hit that thumbs up button, definitely hit it. I do appreciate it. And trying to scroll through here. Lots of subs is part of my process. Experiencing the Daffy. Both I want to build an income while sharing my experiences. The quicker you find your why and niche down helps a lot. It's really hard to do, but read a lot, watch a lot, and listen a lot. Absolutely. There is so much free education out there, guys, on YouTube. I mean, it is... I mean, think about what our parents or grandparents could have accomplished if they had this unlimited resource of information called YouTube that they could watch any video and learn to do just about anything they wanted after they got home from work. I mean, it's such a special opportunity for us, and you're really only limited by your motivation. You know, you could become an expert or a competent person to talk on a lot of subjects just by spending the time and educating yourself through a bunch of free channels. So, hey, Shannon Vlogs, welcome to the live stream. Great to have you. All right, scrolling down, trying to catch up with everybody here. I know there were some super chats. I will not miss you guys. I'm getting down to you. So Kevin Boston asks, to focus on your target audience, how do you find out what that is? Tell from my analytics, most of my viewers come from the United States. Would that make my target audience Americans? Not really. That's more your demographics. What you want to do is find a specific topic that you're passionate about, something that you enjoy making videos about, and then stick to it. Make the content that you enjoy making, and be consistent in the type of content that you make, and your audience will find you. Don't try to change your content based on who has watched your previous videos. I mean, if you have tons of videos out and they were like 2 different topics, you can use your analytics to see which topic has been more successful and maybe niche down to one or the other. But simply just trying to have your analytics tell you what to make videos about when up until now you really haven't had any focus. I probably wouldn't go that route. So try to figure out what you really enjoy making content about, or not even what you enjoy making content about. What do you enjoy in general in life? And then start making content related to that. Live Games Wild. Does changing an end screen count as an edit? Thank you so much for the super chat. When you say count it as an edit, are you concerned about affecting the algorithm? Is that what you mean by edit? If so, no, I would not worry about changing your end screen affecting how YouTube is promoting your video. Jules 777. Hey Dan, good to see you. Great to have you in the live stream. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. All right, here we covered that one. Trying to catch up. Yeah, Live Games Wild. So definitely no, I would not worry about affecting a video by changing your end screens. All right, I basically do reviews and books. I see Doug got to you on that one as well, so thank you so much, Doug, for helping him out there. Next Level Tech. Thank you so much for the super chat. On FameBit, Google is offering content creators up to 10K to review a phone. They want to know my fee. I know I can't charge them 10K. Suggestions on what I charge and pointers on rating the proposal. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much going to be, so I don't know if you've used FameBit before. There's FameBit and there's also Grapevine, which are the same kind of things. I would imagine for in the 10K range, that would be a pretty big audience. Instead of focusing on how much I'm assuming you haven't done a lot of these because you're asking the question. So instead of going that route and trying to figure out what you should charge them based on what they're willing to pay somebody, decide what you're willing to make a quality video for. So figure out that dollar amount that you will, give it 110% and put out a great video, and use that as your starting point. What do you have to lose? I mean, they are, they're going to get a lot of people who are requesting that, or, who try to sign up for that particular offer. So I would just find that value that is significant enough for you to want to do the video, and try to start there and see how that goes. As far as writing the proposal, yeah, I mean, I don't know what the specifics are of their request. I would certainly try to communicate to them in terms of what they're actually looking for. So if they've given you specific things that they want you to cover in the video, describe how you can do that, and maybe how you can be different. I mean, I've done a few things through FameBit and Grapevine in terms of proposals. For me, it always seems like the more well-known offers get super flooded. So they basically respond with like, hey, we've got so many responses, there's a backlog, that kind of thing. So, maybe you try to find a way that will make you stand out above everybody else, and maybe that'll get you some traction. But I'll definitely interested in hearing how that goes for you. So let us know how you make out. I haven't seen Google offer anything like that, so I'm curious what that looks like over there on FameBit. DJ Scrap and Rooster, hello. Good to have you in the live stream tonight. Great to see you able to make some of these. Let's see. How far down did that shoot? We lost. Let's see. It shot me down. I'm just trying to catch up, make sure I don't miss anybody in the chat here. Why is the stream very delayed? The stream might not be delayed. It might just be me trying to catch up with the chat. Just because I am scrolling back and looking at the chat, so I'm not necessarily on the most recent comment. So if you think I'm talking about stuff that was really that was talked about a while ago, it's because I usually will scroll back through the chat and try to find things that that happened while I was talking about something, because I can't. It's hard to talk and read the chat at the same time. So very often I'll scroll back and look at some of the stuff that was said when I was babbling, just to make sure that I don't miss. This FameBit is only for Canadians. Well, that's a cool thing. I would imagine there are some fairly established Canadian creators as well, so it'll be cool to see how you make out. So like right there, that was a really recent comment, but I still want to scroll back because I know that there's been stuff that I missed. So we're scrolling back to just double check. Harry Heathen with the super chat. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. That's as far back as it'll let me go there. All right. And for those of you who may be new to the live stream, in the upper left-hand corner, you will see the Stream Boss. The Stream Boss is just a fun way for us to kind of play a game in the live stream. Basically how it works is for anybody who contributes a super chat, typically when you donate a super chat to help the channel, it pins your comment to the top of the chat and allows you to get whatever message you wanted to share up there. It stays up there for a different amount of time based on the dollar amount that you actually donate or contribute. So what the Stream Boss does is for every $1 of super chat that you donate, it knocks off 10 points from that health bar that you see that's currently held by Next Level Tech. Whoever brings that down to 0 with a super chat, it'll actually knock Next Level Tech out of the Stream Boss position, and it'll replace that with your channel name and icon. Just a way to get a little promotion for your channel while also helping out the Creator Fundamentals channel and myself as well. So just wanted to give you explanation of what's going on up there. It looks like they added a new animation, because I think now that when you get to 0, if I saw that correctly, it kind of like falls down, it like swings down and falls. So it's good to see them making enhancements over there at Streamlabs. Chris Conkle Vlog says, Dan, I'm moving into virtual reality. I set up the HTC Vive Pro. I have big plans to incorporate it into my video. I'm also going to start doing 3D 360 videos. Awesome. That should be pretty interesting, especially in your niche. That would be kind of a cool thing to mess around with. Suppits8, what's your favorite meme? Oh man. You know, I don't know, man. I'm not like a super meme follower, because I'm usually busy making YouTube videos. But my daughter will constantly share them with me. She spends an unusual amount of time looking at stuff on Pinterest and other places to share with me. I don't know if I have a favorite. There's like a whole meme culture. Let's see here. Kevin Boston, I put calls to action at the beginning of my videos, but they don't seem to be doing very well. What's the fix? If you're not converting people, I would look at the actual content that you're making. Try to make changes and improvements in the content. Like I said, little changes over time. Do some research, find out what works, and try to implement that over time. All right. Suppits8, have you ever seen Die Hard, and did you like it? Yeah, Die Hard's a classic, and yes, I like it. The question is, the big debate is whether Die Hard is actually a Christmas movie or not, or a holiday movie. To me, I don't think it should be much of a debate, but apparently a lot of people have that debate of whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Next Level Tech, I'm still 200 subs behind you. Well, I think you're gonna, at the rate you've been traveling, I think you're gonna get those 200 and beyond faster than I will. So you've been picking up some pretty good, or subscribers at a pretty good pace. So how is your pace so far compared to when we compared last? Because we were pretty close at getting to 15,000 at the same time, but I think you're at a much higher pace than I am right now. Shannon Vlogs, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. What are your recommendations for digital product ideas? You know, that's interesting, because one of the things that is on my board over here, let me see if I can, if this will work here. A little view that you guys never ever see. Let's try this right here. If you're curious what this space around my desk actually looks like. So over here behind this sign is actually my whiteboard with all my notes on it. That is actually where there's a whole section about digital products and digital products that I'm looking at. As far as digital products, product ideas, I mean, for me, I think there's a lot of value in educational digital products. I don't know specifically, because you do here, let me, I'm pretty positive I know the type of content that you make, but I want to bring up your channel real quick. See what your latest videos are about. See, so here's a thought, something that you can try. So for any video that you're doing a tutorial on, I think everybody learns in a different way. You know, some people are visual learners. Some people like to take things step by step and kind of process that. One of the things you can try in making digital products is, say you do a tutorial, and then so you record your video. In addition to your video, you create a PDF with step-by-step instructions with screenshots and pictures and stuff of how to do the different steps of a given thing. And then maybe you sell that for a couple bucks or whatever as an option in the description of your video. Say, hey, if you want this complete list of step-by-step instructions in PDF format, for $2 or whatever, you can find a link in the description below. Above and beyond things like that, I mean, you may be able to do an app, either an iOS or Android app, depending on the actual topics that you're covering. So it's just a matter of what your particular niche is and how you can do that. I think informational tutorial, that kind of stuff, I think there's some value there in creating those guides, if you will, step-by-step guides that are an additional monetization opportunity for channels that do tutorial and how-to and informational things where somebody might not be able to or might prefer to read through the steps in addition to seeing them visually. And then it's just a matter of trying it and seeing how it goes. The way I figure, for as many different things as you can try that don't cost you a fortune, try them all out and see what performs the best. She Rocks, hello to you. Thank you for coming and hanging out in the stream. Frankie J says Die Hard is a Christmas film. Shannon Vlogs, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. We have the grand debate in here. I think in the interest of keeping my audience, I will not disclose whether I think it's a Christmas movie or not. All right, scrolling. Chris Boyer, Dan, I saw your stream with Daryl Eves. How did you go about hooking up with him? Well, I mean, we've had a couple conversations throughout the past year or so. I met him the first time at Vid Summit last year. And just to use that as a segue, if you guys, for those of you who consider this a business and that you're trying to, take it to the next level and you have a plan to monetize and to find ways to grow the business and expand it, think really hard about finding a way to get the Vid Summit. It's in Los Angeles. It's in October. It's October 9th through the 12th. Because it's so valuable to get face-to-face with these people, with these experts who have done it before. And it just blows your mind the level of information that they're able to share, the conversations you can have, sitting there chatting with people who have 1 million subscribers and all the things they did to get there, sharing that information with you in the hallway between all the presentations, which are also super valuable. It'll cost you a couple bucks. Last year when I went, my initial thought was, hey, I can't afford it, and I wasn't going to go. And then I, gave it some more thought, had a conversation with my wife, and she didn't think it was the worst idea in the world. So I decided to take a little leap of faith and make it happen. When I went to Vid Summit last year, I had 410 subscribers. So it's not something that's just for really big channels or anything like that. It's super informative. They're making it even more so this year. A lot of great guests. Peter McKinnon will be there. The Scherer brothers, if you know them, they'll be there as well. Daryl Eves will be there, of course. But, you know, Nick Nimmin, Roberto Blake, Tim Schmoyer, the people who also do educational type material, they'll all be there. You'll be, you know, in a position to have a conversation with them. So if you can find a way to make that happen, I definitely don't think you'll consider it a bad investment if you're seriously focused on growing your channel, and you know, you have big plans and you want to see them through. But yeah, that was just a relationship that developed over time. And we had some conversations about VidSummit this year, and had a phone conversation with him, and that kind of popped up during that phone conversation. And of course, I was all for it, and he was gracious with his time, so we were able to get it done. All right, here, scrolling. All right, let's get to the current stuff. All right, here. All right. Lobdux Animated. YouTube's unsubscribed me from you. Obviously, I resubbed. Well, that's an unfortunate thing to hear. I hope they don't do that. Don't do that too often. Yeah, the whole sub-unsub thing is rough. And Tom DeSico in the chat. Good to see you, Tom. Tom will be coming to VidSummit. We're actually going to be hanging out together. We got the same flights out there. He's actually local to me. So we are going to have an awesome time at VidSummit. Soak up all that knowledge. See some retracted messages. Not sure what that was. Old Geezer Gaming, man. Good to see you. Good to see you in the chat. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Shannon Vlogs. Even though Die Hard is a Christmas movie, she is sticking to that. Mobile Cat says you can't spark a conversation, then not tell us what you think. All right. I will tell you whether I think Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Before I do, I will tell you this. When I say consider what is a Christmas movie, to me, it's about what movies that I have to watch at least once during the holiday season. It's not movies that might happen to come on during that time are considered a Christmas movie. The Wizard of Oz, for example, tends to be on a lot during that time, but I do not consider The Wizard of Oz to be a Christmas movie. A Christmas Story, that's a Christmas movie. The Night Before Christmas, that's a Christmas movie. Obviously, you know, there's a number of other movies that I'd like to see at least once during the holiday. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. I mean, it may be shown. It is, to me, it does take place around the holidays, but it's not a movie that I associate with Christmas, or a movie that I would, that would fall on my list to, hey, I really got to see this, this holiday season. You know, you're not going to find a channel doing a 24-hour, 24 hours of Die Hard during the Christmas season like they would do with A Christmas Story. So for that reason, because it's not a must-see movie during the holiday season, I do not consider Die Hard a Christmas movie. Kevin Boston 7 asks, how do I get people to collab with me? In trying to work out collaborations with other people, you have to be able to provide some type of value to them or a reason that is mutually beneficial. So it's not just about getting people to do something for you, it's how can you help them as well. All right, let's see what kind of backlash I get. So Suppets8 says, it's a Christmas movie because it takes place on Christmas, and it's about a cop from New York taking down terrorists, making it very patriotic and well-fitting for a... Yeah, see, I don't associate patriotism with Christmas. I mean, I got nothing against the taking down the terrorists and all that stuff, but it's just not Christmassy to me. Trying to catch up here. Okay, we covered that. I went all in on it's not a Christmas movie. Old Geezer Gaming, right? I promote all those guys all the time, including Creative Fundamentals, all very knowledgeable guys. Thank you so much for including me in that group. I appreciate it. Launchpad Astronomy, wish I could, but I can't afford it. Might try to get the replays. That's a great idea. Let's see. Launchpad Astronomy, that was an amazing hangout last week. Awesome. I'm a little disappointed that I had that little hiccup in OBS when I went to do my original, or my intro. It caused me to pause in the middle of my normal spiel that I've said 1,000 times. But it was, because I was doing the shared thing, it switched. For those of you guys who use OBS, you have a little bar, a little green bar that moves with your audio to make sure your audio is on. And when I transitioned, I don't know what changed, but my mic, it switched so I couldn't see my mic volume, so I couldn't tell if I was muted, and I didn't want to get all the way through the intro and be muted. So I kind of went, yeah, and that happened, but what are you going to do? Launchpad Astronomy, where are you located? I am in upstate New York. All right. Enjoy your dinner. All right. Shannon Vlogs, disagree. And that is perfectly acceptable to disagree. We don't all have to agree on everything. Is The Night Before Christmas a Halloween movie too? Do you mean The Nightmare Before Christmas? Because I wouldn't consider The Night Before Christmas. I'm not even sure what movie would be The Night Before Christmas. Is that the... What is the name? What is the name of the Christmas movie, animated Christmas movie with, I'm not sure if they're mice or whatever, but the clock tower breaks and the guy's got to climb up inside it to fix the clock tower with the whole kerplunk kerplooey thing? He breaks the clock and then he has to go and fix it before midnight. If somebody knows the name of that movie, let me know in the chat. Yeah, I mean, it's all in how you grew up. I mean, so like, if you know, for those of you who celebrate Christmas, what are the top 3 songs that are your top 3 Christmas songs? Because that's going to be really different for a lot of people. For me, because I, you know, growing up in my family's home and basically being my, you know, the music that my parents shared with me, Christmas to me is Brenda Lee and John Denver, Rocky Mountain Christmas, Bing Crosby. You know, those are the ones that I associate with Christmas. But depending on what era you grew up in, maybe it's Mariah Carey or some other newer music set. Which, since we're doing Christmas in August, you could also ask the question, what is the best Christmas movie? Yes, Independence Day is a patriotic movie. I love Independence Day. I think that's a real good movie. My Stuttering Life, Dan, if I create a playlist and add my own video, but add other videos from other content creators, does that hurt my channel? No, it doesn't hurt your channel. It's viewers who leave your channel aren't. It's not going to hurt your channel because it's still session time. So the overall session time is a good sign for your channel. Some people try to use that as an approach to try to get your content or to get people, because we know that the way the algorithm works now is it's all about the viewers' viewing history. So what does that viewer watch? So some people try to use playlists mixing content to get them in the habit of watching your content with the content of other bigger channels and things like that, with the idea that they'd watch the whole playlist, and now there'd be a person out there who has a history of watching your content and their content. I don't know how well that works. I haven't tested it in great detail, but it's certainly not going to hurt your channel. All right, here. Audrey's Adventures. Hi, Dan. How are you? I am great. How are you? All right. Launchpad Astronomy. Cool. We'll be up that way next week, coming up from Maryland. What part of New York are you heading to? Specifically. Or like what city or Alright, let's see. Oh, Kim and Garrett Make It, The Mouse That Saved Christmas. Is that's the name of that Kerplunk Kerplooey one? Oh, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Now I gotta look it up. You got, is it the mouse? Let's see. I just gotta look. I gotta see here. So it wasn't The Mouse That Saved Christmas unless it was from a different, unless it was called that in some other area. It was 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, 1974 is the one that I was referring to, because I'm looking at the actual screenshots here. That's not to say that they didn't release it in another market with a different name. Let me see. The Mouse That Saved Christmas? Is that like a thing? The Mouse That Saved... Yeah, I'm not getting any listings of The Mouse That Saved Christmas, so I think 'Twas the Night Before Christmas is the answer to that one. So thank you very much for pointing that out, K Flanagan 98. I haven't seen that one as much as I used to. I don't know if that's just a sign of the times, whatever, but that was always a fun one to watch. My kids got into the... they got like a classic box set that had like Frosty and Rudolph, and then there was this other one with the what is it called? The Meister Burger. I can't think of what the name of the thing is, but that's kind of a twisted little Christmas cartoon. Oreo Time 1, thanks for making it to the live stream. Good to have you. You did indeed make it. We're about an hour into it right now. Enjoying the conversation and hanging out with everybody. Never trust a mouse in glasses. Let's see. Trying to get... Here, let me get down to the bottom and backtrack. Oh, let's see. We've got... All right. See if there's any feedback on what the best Christmas movie is. My Stuttering Life says, Dan, what program do you use for your thumbnails? Do you do it yourself or hire an outside company? I use Canva for mine. I do my thumbnails myself, and I use a program called GIMP, G-I-M-P, which is basically a free version of Photoshop. You can actually just do a Google search for GIMP and download it for free, but it's very similar to Photoshop in the way that it works. But yeah, I do my thumbnails myself. I kind of enjoy the process of learning the new skills, so I've tried not to outsource any. Well, I mean, one, when you outsource, you have to pay somebody else money to do it. But I kind of want to learn all the different aspects and be able to do them myself, which is why I kind of spent some time trying to learn how to make thumbnails. Still working on it, but making little improvements a little each day. They're worlds better than they were when the channel started. Harmony, hello to you too. Let's see here. Did I? Oh no, I gotta. Thought I was out of this. I got a whole can. Come on, LaCroix. Sponsor me. Become addicted to this stuff. All right. Best Christmas movie. Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. I don't even know what that is. I've never even heard of that. Is that like a real thing? You know, you never know where the subscriber hangout live streams are going to... oh, look at that. It is. That actually looks very... very interesting. It kind of reminds me of... So just to age myself... I don't even know what channel this show was on, but there used to be I think it was like an after school show or maybe it was before school, called Today's Special. It was about a mannequin in a store that came to life after dark. And it had real people and like little puppets and stuff that were in it, one of which was a little mouse and then like an old guy. But the characters in that Emmett Otter thing reminded me of that show. Alex Fishing, yo, I'm using an old laptop. My new laptop is in service. What a point to edit on. Yeah, that's got to be tough trying to edit on the older machines. Law Enforcement explains, how long did it take you to get to 1,000 subs? So, here's the funny thing. If you... Actually, I'll pull this up here real quick, because I think I still have the... We go to... Did I take it out of there? I might have taken it out of there. So it took me I think I got to actually here, let me just look at Social Blade and tell you exactly. I used to have them listed in my About section, but I got rid of that. I want to say it was like 6 months. But I will tell you exactly what it actually was. Maybe. Let's see. For those of you who never use Social Blade, definitely check it out because it can give you all kinds of cool stats to look at. Detailed stats. Scroll back. And then if you go into detailed stats, you can go down to your total sub count and then move your cursor across the number, and you can see when you got to a specific total. So so I was actually at this channel. It took from July, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. So by the middle of January, I had 742 subscribers. So I was getting over a little bit more than 100 a month. And then a couple videos that I made, I put out around that time relating to the change in the monetization, actually allowed my channel to go. It went... So on January 16th, I was at 742 subscribers. By the end of January, I was at 2,800 subscribers. By the end of February, I was at 7,000 subscribers. By the end of April, I was at 8.5. When May rolled around, I crossed into 10,000. And now we're in 13,000 somewhere. So I put in over 100 videos in 7 months before the channel really caught on and really started to take off. Savage Scientist, good to see you out there as well. I'm not that close to Woodstock. Launchpad was asking if I was near Woodstock. I don't think it's really far away. A little over an hour away from Woodstock. Tam and Duo Girl, heard a bit of a rumor that live streams can hurt your suggestion ranking somehow and suggested they be unlisted after. Sounds unlikely to me. A friend live streams and is growing fast. Yeah, I don't think that's good advice to unlist your live streams. So I wouldn't go that route. I mean, the one thing that a live stream will do, hang on here real quick. I'm just double checking. Live streams typically have a much lower average view, the view percentage, because obviously in my case they're 3 hours long, and the average person that watches is not staying for all 3 hours. I mean, it usually, so like last week's live stream with Daryl Eves, the average time was 20 minutes per viewer. That was the average view duration for that, and it had like 170 hours of watch time, because people come in and people leave, and there's people who just come in for a couple minutes and bounce. And then there's some of you great people who come and hang out for a big chunk of the live stream, which is awesome. Helps bring that average up. But, you know, the percentages might be lower, but it's still watch time. It still helps your channel. And I wouldn't be concerned about live streams hurting the suggestion of other videos. Now, I just saw something here. Trying to figure out how it happened. Let's see. All right. Okie dokie. Well, I see that now you are the stream boss, Shannon, but I didn't see exactly how you got there, so. It just flashed up on the screen and changed, but in any event, Shannon Vlogs is now the stream boss. All right. Bear with me for 2 seconds. How has the stream been clarity-wise? Is the video going pretty good, or has it been choppy at all? I would love to know. Just trying to organize some windows behind the scenes here. Make it a little bit easier to navigate. Oh yeah, there was an article today about Patreon buying another company. That was interesting. Couldn't really tell how it affects any of us, but apparently Patreon is a little bit worried with all the services that Facebook and YouTube are coming out that are similar to the service that they provide. That said, I really wish I could get memberships on this channel. But unfortunately, that is reserved to 100,000 subscribers and more. So much for that. Maybe after, if they can get all their bugs worked out, that they'll expand that. That's what I'm looking for. Cool. All right. And go back. Perfect. All right, we're good to go now. Just for... I know it's tough to do if you're on mobile, but if you have a question or you're trying to address me directly, just do the @Creator Fundamentals so it highlights it. Because I feel like I'm missing some questions here, and I don't want to. Kate Flanagan says Santa Claus the movie with Dave Huddleston and Dudley Moore and John Lithgow, 1984, was always my favorite. Pretty good story. How Santa came to be. New York City Traveler out there. Corey Fiasco. Good to see you guys. Launchpad Astronomy, are you, if you want to reach out to me on Facebook, we can talk about that, see when you're going to be up there, and see if that's a possibility, exactly where you're going to be and when you're going to be. I will say that I will be out of town coming up here, but shoot me the details and we'll see if that's a possibility. Nature Hunter. If you have 2 audiences on your channel, would you rather recommend splitting into 2 or just create playlists? Thank you. If you have 2 completely separate audiences with no overlap, that can get kind of tricky. So I would... there's some variables there. If one of them is driving most of the engagement and traffic on the channel, then yeah, you might consider taking the other topic and moving it to another channel. I wouldn't so much try to move the existing content as I would try to focus on one topic or the other going forward, and possibly create a second channel for the topic that you're not going to cover on the channel anymore. That's probably the way that I would approach it. If it's split 50-50, I mean, I don't know how, you know, how opposite or unrelated your two topics are, but it's kind of a play-by-ear thing. My stuttering life, I wear glasses, and what is the best position for lights so that they don't catch on your glasses when you're recording? So right now, I mean, I don't know if you think I'm doing a good job of not seeing my lights at all, but I have my main light is in this direction, in that direction, and then I have a so up here I have my softbox, and it's, for this setup, it's raised like all the way up to the ceiling, then tilted down at me. And then over here I just have like a basic lamp with an LED bulb to kind of fill in the shadow a little bit. Same lighting that I use when I do my standard videos. Sometimes, I mean, when you're sitting there and you're talking around, at some point you're going to catch the glare, but having it high instead of directly behind the camera, so you're looking at your camera, for the most part it stays out of the reflection because it's raised above where you're looking. So that's how I do mine. It's kind of as high as it'll go in the room, and then tilted down so I get the light to come down, but I'm not looking at it behind the camera. Hopefully that helps. The green scene, any tips on raising RPM? Pedal faster. Okay, covered that one. So join BJP vote. I don't know. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah. Not really sure what specifically your channel is about, so I'm not really sure what the situation is with your not being monetized. Basically, from what I've heard, if you were waiting prior to June, it means they would have reviewed your channel. If you didn't get approved, that means that they needed to do a secondary review. So if you're still in a review, a pending status, then they may be trying to decide whether or not your channel is appropriate for monetization, which has to do with the advertisers and whether they want their advertisements on your content. So Joshua Verwers, for me, yes, those are the only two lights that I'm using. I know that when you do research on lighting, you know, they'll tell you you have your, you know, like your main light and your fill light and then your hair light and all that other stuff. I've seen some people who also put a light directly behind you. That's actually something that I'd like to do, but I don't have a ton of room here anyway. But it actually is a pretty good effect. If you put a small light directly behind you, it kind of creates some separation between yourself and the backdrop. The guy that I saw, he actually attached a light to the back of his chair, so when he moved, the light was always consistently behind him. But again, it's different levels of quality. Don't be obsessed with perfection. I think this does, I mean, especially for a live stream, it's fairly decent. When I have my DSLR hooked up, I can get a pretty crispy picture just using these lights in this setup. So you know, there may be like a lighting snob out there that'll tell me all the reasons that it's wrong, and that's cool, you know, and they're probably right, but for the purpose of this, I'm perfectly fine with with how the lighting looks. All right. Nature hunter, I go nature hunting, also coin hunting, metal detecting, etc. So it's sort of related. Also live stream and get good minutes result. What is a good grow rate for a beginning channel? A good grow rate for a beginning channel is just a little bit better than you were growing last week, last month, last year. There is no standard across different channels. Every channel is different. The best you can do is try to compete with yourself and improve upon your past performance. If you continue to do that, you'll continue to grow. Thank you so much, Shannon Vlogs, for reminding everybody to hit that like button. If you are in the chat right now, click that little thumbs up button. Definitely been a lot more people in here than the likes on that, so I do appreciate it if you take a moment to click that button and let everybody know you were here. Yeah, and I'm actually, this is a Logitech C920. I have had my DSLR hooked up for live streams before, but I had a weird issue once, and I ended up taking that camera down, and I actually had to switch to my Logitech in the middle of a live stream. Since then, I've just been using the Logitech because it's, like I said, it's good enough for the purpose of this. I'm not trying to win videography awards during the live stream. Just trying to have something that looks pretty decent and you know, doesn't make your eyes burn out of your skull. So My Stuttering Life, do you recommend an intro video? I know they say to keep it under 30 seconds, but I stutter, so mine is a bit longer. When you say an intro video, are you talking about a channel trailer or like an intro on a given video? Channel trailer, yeah, you could definitely do a channel trailer to let people know exactly what to expect from your channel. If you're talking about an intro on a video, I don't use an intro per se. What I like to do is start out a video with a hook. In my case, it's usually just a verbal hook and identifying what I'm going to talk about, and then I will do a quick animation of my logo, and then I'll kick into the content. And then that's probably my animated logo is probably 10 seconds or less. So channel trailer. So yeah, definitely you could do a channel trailer. Channel trailers don't have, you can make a channel trailer longer than 30 seconds. It's just a matter of keeping it engaging. So maybe not do 5 minutes of you one continual conversation. Try to mix it up, cut shots, mix in some, you know, pieces from the different videos that you've done. Try to keep people's attention. So there's a number of different ways that you can do that. You just don't want to have the same scene for a prolonged period of time. I'd probably, you know, I wouldn't make it a half hour or anything like that, but a few minutes, you know, 2-3 minutes might be all right. Tom DeSico, heading to bed. Have a great night, and I shall enjoy the rest of the stream. All right. Captain Filthy, I'm a recent sub and enjoy your content. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out on the live stream. I appreciate it. Great to have you on board, Captain. Oreo Time 1 is just answering the hobby question, which makes me wonder if he's watching it on live. You ever done that? You've been on a live stream and you're watching it, and then you realize that the little live light's not on, but you're commenting based on where you are on the live stream, so it's like misaligned with what everybody's talking about. Suppets 8 heading off. Have a good night as well. All right, and delete that, and that, and that, and that. All right. So Nature Hunter, I think you might be able to make that content all kind of work together. I think since you're outdoors all the time, you can probably find a way to kind of incorporate that all in one channel. It's not so far removed from each other. All right. All right, so we are 90 minutes into the live stream. So one of the thing, 2-week thing you mentioned. I just saw a question here. Can you elaborate on the 2-week thing you mentioned about suggested vids? I heard it in one of your recent videos. I think what you're referring to. So Daryl Leaves, the guru of the algorithm, or whatever you wanna, however you wanna mention it. He recently put out a video talking about the changes in the algorithm and how YouTube seems to have made a shift from getting really popular videos into suggested right away to videos being picked up and suggested in like the 14 to 120 day range. Which kind of made me think about whether or not they are using the information from those first 2 weeks on how your subscribers respond to your content as kind of a gauge on how to suggest your videos. So if you put out a video that really resonates with your audience and they all rush out to watch it and it's got a really great response during that time compared to your other content, will YouTube then take that into account when they start to suggest your video? I actually posed that question to Daryl, and his answer was yes, ... So I'm sure there's more to it than that, but it is kind of an interesting shift. I mean, there's definitely videos out there. We've seen it for a long time, videos that didn't do all that well out of the gate, but then over time they gradually gain steam, get into suggested, and continue to grow that way. So that's always been there. So there's still a little bit more to flesh out exactly how this change is really going to work and how it's going to affect our channels. But the good thing to note is it does give hope for some of the older videos that you have. Was it today's video that Daryl put out that talked about how he took an older video, and all he did was change the thumbnail, and it started getting 3 times as many views as it was getting. So thumbnails are super important, and that's definitely something that you can try to go back to some of your older content and try to improve the thumbnail to kind of get it going again. And one of the ways that you can do that is to actually do A/B testing on your thumbnails, which basically TubeBuddy in their legend level account actually offer the ability to A/B test. And basically how that works is you have a thumbnail on the video, and then you create a separate thumbnail and you put it into TubeBuddy. And what TubeBuddy will do for a given period of time is each day it'll alternate showing the different thumbnails, and then it keeps statistics on each thumbnail separately and allows you to see which one performs better. And that can help you get a ton more views by seeing which version of the thumbnail is actually getting a better response from people who see it. It's something I really need to do with some of my older content. Go back and update some thumbnails, do some A/B testing, see how that all works. All right, so Savage Scientist, that's good advice. I'm supposed to be working on a thumbnail one of my videos. All right. So I suppose that there might be some people interested in doing some channel reviews. If you would like to have your channel reviewed, I want you to tag Creator Fundamentals and include, so tag Creator Fundamentals and also include the name of your channel, and we will pick some channels to take a look at and do some channel reviews. So tag Creator Fundamentals space your channel name. And while you guys are doing that, I'll throw a link to TubeBuddy into the chat. Did that actually work? Yeah, it did. Definitely sign up for TubeBuddy if you haven't tried the free version. There's no risk to do it, and you'll see just how handy it is. All right, we got the first channel review there. We'll pop that there.
Good, the bad.
Turn that off. Awesome. Alrighty, what do we got going on here? Adventures in Dirt. Hello and welcome to the live stream. Captain Filthy says, does tag order matter? Now, see, that's interesting because I've always run under the assumption that it does not, but in one of Daryl's recent videos, he made reference to it mattering. So, I mean, personally, the way that I add my tags, my first tag is always the same tag as my title. And then I kind of work my way out from there. So all right, let me grab some of these. Okay. All right, just taking a peek at some things behind the scenes here. All right, we'll include that one in there as well. Adventures in Dirt says, "How can I ask you how you do your lighting with glasses? I'm in the same boat and I see nothing in your lenses." So we were actually talking about this a little bit earlier. Might have been before you came in. The way that actually works for me is I have a softbox on this side that is really high and angled down. So it casts the light from that, and then to my left at an angle, I just have a simple LED bulb to fill in the shadows on the other side of my face. Same thing when I am standing in front of the camera for my standard videos. The softbox is really high and angled down, so instead of it being behind the camera looking at me, it is elevated above the camera and tilted down so I get the light, but I'm not staring at it. Occasionally, when you move around, you will catch it in the glasses every once in a while. Like if I go like this, you might be able to see it in the glasses a little bit. There you go. You can see it in my glasses because it's right there. Right there. But for the most part, because I have the camera over here but the light's above me, it doesn't cause a problem. Hey, Harley, can you share that post in the Creator Fundamentals group? Let me just say that I find it ironic that Creator Academy said that the tag order matters when Creator Insider came out on their channel, which is also a YouTube product, and said tags don't matter. So there's a little bit of conflict in the information that YouTube is putting out to people. But I definitely love to read that article, so you can either share it on my Facebook account or in the Creator Fundamentals group, because I'd love to read how they've written that. Slowboat Sailing, Harley, recognize you from the Facebook ritual. I assume that means Brian G. Johnson's Tube Ritual group. All right, here, let me finish doing what I was doing here with grabbing. All right, so let's look at some channels, shall we? Let me find the old channel review scene here in OBS. Make sure we got everything lined up properly. That's looking a bit rough. Tweak, tweak, tweak. All right. That looks pretty reasonable. All right, here we go. So the first channel up is My Stuttering Life, new content every weekend by Pedro. So looks like kind of a, I don't know if we would call it a vlogging type, but obviously revolving around you and your life. If we go into the About section, you are not alone. This is my life with all its trials and tribulations as a person who stutters. Okay. Positive message, daily struggles. Excellent. Thank you for your service as United States Air Force Gulf War veteran. Appreciate it. All right, so let's see. So nice, clean channel heart. I think the name gives an idea of the type of content that you're going to cover. You got a little bit about yourself and that you're doing new content every weekend. My one concern on the way that this is laid out, and I'm going to double check here real quick by taking a look at your channel on mobile. See what that looks like. It looks a little wide to me, but we'll double check. Maybe it fits. Maybe it squeezes in there. All right. So when you view this on mobile, the new content every weekend gets hidden by the icon, because for some reason YouTube decided it was going to stack those elements on the mobile version. So you might want to consider moving this up or rearranging this so this is not down in the lower left-hand corner. You would either have to center it. I think if you centered it, because basically the icon is right here. It goes, well, because this is too wide, all the words get cut off here. Like this is the edge of mobile right here. So you lose new and then the C. And then everything from the N over to the E's, this is all covered by a big icon, which is this icon right here. So you really need to reposition this so it's effective on mobile, because there is, probably half your audience is viewing your stuff on mobile, and it's just a better look if you can make everything look clean on mobile as well. So let's take a look. We got that. We got your image here. That works. All of your thumbnails have you in them, so that kind of works on your branding here. I feel like I see you're using a consistent color scheme here. I might try to find something a little more consistent, like you're doing the greens and you I feel like you have some opportunities here to kind of make this look the use of this green and the yellow a little more consistent in how you're displaying it. Like either I love PD, fear of failure. Like it almost looks like you're just kind of doing this manually each time because it's kind of moves all over the place. What I would actually do is create a template. I'm not sure what you're using to do these in, but if you're using like Canva or something, you might be able to save a project and then just remove the replace the image and stuff. But I would try to put some more consistency in how you're applying those colors. Because like these, you can look at them and see that they're all kind of random compared to each other. So I would kind of focus on that a little bit. And not only get consistency in your elements, but how you're actually laying them out can go a long way to establish, a look and feel that people immediately identify as yours. And it just makes an overall cleaner look that doesn't look... It just looks a bit random here. If we go to your home screen here, let's see. Are these all basically talking heads?
Starting now. Let's get started.
All right. That's good. You got your hook, and then you go into your bumper here with your logo, which is good. My one thought is, was that Who is that on the intro music? Sounds very familiar. My only concern on that is
All right, so
make sure you own the rights to that music, just so it doesn't give you any grief.
welcome everybody. My name is Pedro. I want to welcome you.
All right, so let's see. For a video this long, you might try to maybe break up your scenery a little bit, just so it's not 7 minutes straight of you standing in one position talking. If you do record it this way, you can do things like, you know, edit some pans and stuff for some slow zooms and things, just to make it a little more engaging. Because people might tend, I don't know what your average view duration looks like, but you might be able to improve that by breaking up the content a little bit, and just so people don't you don't lose people. Because even if you're saying really interesting stuff, if it's just stuck on the same scene for a long period of time, you can lull people to sleep. But yeah, those are the things that I would kind of focus on right now. As you get more content, you can spread out the stuff, the videos on the channel page here, and then for the playlist that you create, you want to make sure you're getting full descriptions in the playlists. And also try to name your playlists in terms of an actual keyword phrase that people might search for, because your playlist can show up in search results. Alrighty. You use Fiverr for your channel art or your thumbnails? Yeah, Fantastic Joe. I thought that sounded like Maroon 5, but because that'll probably definitely cause you some problems with using Maroon 5 in your videos. If not now, then when you try to monetize them, all your videos will get demonetized. Let's see here. Tom Nash in the chat. Good to see you. Filefish out there as well. So yeah, my stutter in life, I would look to see whether or not Canva allows you to save a project. If it does, rather than doing a new project for each thumbnail, I would try to go into the saved project, to try to maintain as many elements as consistent as possible, and then just change the image and, you know, the particular message that you're communicating on that particular video. So yeah, my stutter in life, if they created that and they put Maroon 5 on your intro music, that could definitely cause you problems. If you try, like I said, if you try to monetize that video, it'll probably get flagged. You know, I didn't even, let's see here. So Tom Nash says, my advice for Pedro is to switch to horizontal versus vertical. Did you find a video that he had that was vertical video? Because the one that I looked at was horizontal. Alrighty. Okay. Morsi, is it Morsi Ilium Rex? Can you give any advice on getting more people to subscribe? I actually so best bet on that is if you go to my channel after the stream and you click on the little magnifying glass on the channel and just type in the word subscriber. You'll see a bunch of videos associated with how to get more subscribers. I think I just did one last week or not too long ago, within the last couple of weeks. So definitely check that out. But there's a number of videos that focus on how to get more subscribers. Depending on where you are in the process, the answer may be don't worry. Don't focus on trying to get more subscribers. Focus on making better content on a consistent basis, and the subscribers will take care of themselves. But there are some specific tips and best practices out there that you can use to kind of help elevate the rate at which people subscribe to your content. Oh, so there was a vertical video out there. Yeah, I didn't notice. Alrighty. All right, so let's see what the next channel we got. All right, so the next channel is Mobile Cats. So we've got a blue, kind of a blue theme going up here. We have this icon. Can't really see what all the words say in that, but I do see a face in there. Clash, so a gaming channel, Clash Royale, Fortnite, last day on Earth. If the dot etc. is not part of a game name, I would probably get that out of the channel art there. Let's see here. So one of the common things I see with a ton of gaming channels is how they make the thumbnail all about the game itself and don't really do anything to identify the channel. Like I see on this is, I don't know if you just recently changed your thumbnails, because I do see this that looks like it says Mobile Cats Gaming. Now the challenge with this is this logo and kind of this, it almost looks like it's written in chalk, doesn't match what you got going up here in your channel art. So if this is like new branding that you're doing, then I would want to get that displayed up here as opposed to what you have going on there. And then consider getting your icon in line with both of them. But really want to look in, you know, find a way to identify your thumbnails as being from your channel, in addition to making them, you know, engaging and something somebody wants to click on. But like, yeah, this, I would never ever put my social media on a thumbnail. That's not really where you're trying to get people to do that. Other thing is, if you're trying to grow your YouTube channel, I would get rid of links to Twitch and Google Plus and replace those with another subscribe button. Got a bunch of playlists. Let's see how you're organizing them on your main channel page. Personally, I would get rid of the uploads playlist and create my own custom playlist that basically did the same thing, that I could name more related to my channel and provide a description of the type of content that was in it. Got a little Brian G. Johnson liked video. I also personally, I wouldn't include the videos that I like on my channel page. But we do see some Brian G there, a little bit of Jeff Dunham. But generally speaking, I wouldn't include this on my channel page. I would also opt for doing horizontal playlists, single horizontal playlists such as these over a list of your created playlists like this. And then I would change the order and try to put, my first row would be my most recent content in chronological descending order. And then I would put my more popular videos or playlists up here, sort them by the most popular so people can get to see your most successful videos first, and kind of get that all organized. Launchpad Astronomy created fundamentals. The thumbnails were listed vertically, not horizontally. On which channel? I didn't see any vertical listings of thumbnails, so tell me what channel that was and we'll look at it again. Tom Nash says, Dan, I meant the playlist / page layout was vertical. That was for the My Stuttering Life channel? Because I don't think that one was vertical. I just think that there wasn't enough content. It's horizontal uploads and then a single playlist that only has 2 videos in it. So I didn't see any vertical listings of playlists. So I'm not sure which channel that was, so let me know. There just wasn't enough content to fill it out. It might have looked that way because there was only 2 videos in the other playlist. Unless he changed it after I looked at it and I didn't notice. Gma Lolly, welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining us. Good to have you. All right, we got that one. Got that one. Got that one. All right, so the next channel we're going to take a look at here is Nature Hunter. First thing that stands out to this, that Nature Hunter is too wide. That's going to get totally chopped up on mobile. So definitely when you guys are setting up your channel art, make sure that you look at it on mobile to see that it is going to fit properly. And I wanted to see, do I have a shortcut for... I don't think I do. But if you go to creativefundamentals.com and you click on Tools, there is a link to download the actual template to kind of give you a guide in creating your channel art. It shows you the divisions where mobile starts, etc., and helps you to get your design to fit within mobile. In this case, this is going to get chopped off. It'll probably be something like a tour hunt after it's done getting trimmed. So, other thing I would say with the channel, I don't know what's going on in your icon, but there's a ton of words in there that you can't read, so you might want to rethink what you got going on in there to make that something that's actually useful. Also, at this stage in the game, at 171 subscribers, focus on growing your channel. Don't worry about trying to get people to donate to your cause. I would put another subscribe thing up there and just kind of try to grow your base here. So, also, let's see what we got here. Hello, watcher, metal detecting, just starting, Eurocoin, roll hunting, live streams. I will be doing some giveaways. I feel like this description is more about, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but it feels more about gimmicks to get people watch more than describing the type of content that you're doing. If you're about nature hunting and you're doing metal detecting and stuff, trying to entice people with winning things, probably shouldn't be your lead-in. I would try to focus on the content at this point. As you grow an audience, you know, then you can do giveaways and things to reward your audience. But I wouldn't use the promise of giveaways to entice people to subscribe to your channel, because ultimately you get people who aren't really interested in the content. They're just interested in trying to get something for free. So I probably wouldn't go that route and advertise that. I would try to clearly define what you have going on in terms of the type of content that you're making. And now I want to look at your actual videos and see what you got going on here. So all your recent videos, yeah, see, it feels kind of like you're doing, this kind of reminds me, for those of you who have ever dealt it, one of the things they do now with like sports cards is a dealer will sell, well, they're not allowed to directly sell chances to open boxes of baseball cards or whatever sport it is, but they will give people a specific team, and then they'll do live streams to show what cards people get as they're unboxing. That's what this kind of feels like, because although the last videos are focused on golden tickets, and I have no reference of what golden tickets is about. Golden ticket winner, golden ticket hunter bags, and gold tickets. Let's drill into one of these videos and see what we're actually doing here. All right, so this feels like grab bags on eBay, which I'm not saying is not something that can be done, but it feels more like that is the gimmick of the channel, rather than having a channel about nature content or outdoor and metal detecting type stuff. Like, I'm seeing all these references to golden tickets, but I don't see anything that explains what the golden ticket is for. Friend only. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like there's kind of conflicting approaches here. Based on your most recent content, like, I don't know if you are giving away stuff that you find, or whether you're creating these bags Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to let me know in the chat exactly what, because so honestly, based on what you said and when I saw that and you talked about metal detecting, I would expect to see stuff that you dug up, or something nature related. And here we're talking about a possible coin error, coins from around the world. Golden ticket winner. Yeah, I feel like there's a disconnect between the type of content that you're actually making and kind of the topic that you indicated you were making. I'm not seeing a lot of like dedicated outdoor stuff. Live streaming an aquarium. Is that what that aquarium? Nature. Yeah, I mean, 100 bags of gold. This very much feels like an eBay venture, like a grab bag kind of eBay venture, which feels a little bit different than what you got going on up here. So I would really kind of rethink what the focus is, and then make your channel art and your about section in tune with what it is that you're doing here. And then definitely use your horizontal playlist to get your stuff displayed, as opposed to doing the verticals here, because it just takes up a lot of room. Includes information that people don't really look at when they're trying to decide whether to watch your videos. So get as many horizontal playlists as you can on that page so people can see your content. I'm not saying that the treasure bags can't be a successful focus, but if that is what you actually enjoy doing, and what you want to do with your channel, then I would kind of get everything else to focus in line with that, and then I would also just make sure that everything that you're doing is in line with YouTube's terms of service. Yeah, even when I go back 3 weeks, I'm still seeing videos about Euro coins. Road trip. Smurfs on wheels and a lizard family. I mean, I definitely see some coin content, but based on what I was thinking with actual, coins and things that you dug up, I think you kind of have a lot of different, a lot of different topics there. All right. Harley said he found the link talking about the order of keyword phrases. Optimize tab of Morning Fame's keyword tool. Yeah, I'll check that out. Alrighty then. Let's see where we're at here. So the next one is Joshua Verwers. Living by Faith, new videos every week. So nice and clean. Living by Faith, kind of a general idea of what your content may be about. Christian husband, father, pastor. Okay. Kind of get to the point there. Share God's love here in the digital world. All right. So it's clean channel art, gets to the point. You were talking about the reason that I pulled your channel up because you were talking about the 2 different variations of your thumbnails. So, you know, I kind of have 2 schools of thought when it comes to thumbnails. The reality is, for any given thumbnail, somebody who's checking out your content for the first time is only going to see a single thumbnail. So the idea that you have variations of them is not necessarily an awful thing, provided that people can still tell that it's associated with your channel. So like you have these vlog ones, and then you have, I guess, what you would consider like a standard video, and you're kind of doing this little vlog icon, which I like. What I would suggest that you do for these videos, because obviously we know it's you when we look at this, I would probably take this circle, even on these videos here, and I would throw that down there the same way that you're doing this, without the log edition that you're doing for your vlogs. That way you're just kind of you're being consistent with that branding, and people will be able to tell that they're all from your channel. And I think it's small, and even when it's small, it's easy enough to identify as unique, uniquely yours, and that's a good way to kind of get all of your thumbnails in line with each other. So that way, even if they know it's here, but somebody sees this, they'll know, you know, they'll kind of associate your face with that image. So when they see this, they'll know it's still your content. But your thumbnails look clean. Your most recent ones here. So I kind of feel like I would almost be apt to kind of do this in the opposite direction. Rather than accentuating the text, I would accentuate the imagery. You know, I think the images that you share on your thumbnails are going to have a much better opportunity to grab somebody's attention than words. You know, like on my channels, because they're all talking head type videos, I have to use words because, you know, my scenery doesn't change all that much. But, you know, if you're talking about independence or celebrating the 4th of July and something like that, you could have a much more powerful thumbnail. You know, if you showed a kid waving a flag standing on the side of the road as the parade went by, or something to that effect. If you are doing like the surprise unboxing, instead of showing a faint image of yourself in the background with really bold text, maybe you are holding out the surprise, and maybe you've blacked out the box or something to add intrigue about what it actually was, if it's something that wasn't wrapped or something like that. So you want to generate an emotion with your thumbnail to get people interested enough to actually want to click on it. You know, so that's what I would recommend there. And then on your home page, right now you're just doing uploads. I would definitely create playlists. See what you got for playlists, if there's any in here. You do have some playlists. Instead of doing the upload one, like what I did in replace of uploads, I did a playlist that's like the latest from Creator Fundamentals. So that way, if somebody's searching for you specifically, you have the chance of that playlist to show up in the search results, as opposed to uploads, which is people are never going to find because it's just standard across all channels. So I would get rid of the uploads. I'd create my own version of the upload where, you know, that one playlist that I add every new video when it comes up on the channel. and display that, and then you're doing good here with getting your full descriptions in your thing. So that looks good like that. But that would be the one thing there that I would consider tweaking. Alrighty, let's see. Have a good night, Shannon. Elite Jamaica in the house. Good to see you. Ready, Set, Bo joining the live stream. Good to see you. All right, so we are doing fairly well here. Okay, so we have Metal X Music. All right, so the first thing that jumps out on the channel art is it's too wide for mobile. It's going to get all chopped up and cut off in mobile. People aren't going to be able to read it. So you really need to look into how to make your channel art display properly for mobile. Again, if you go to creatorfundamentals.com and click on Tools, you'll be able to download the template for doing channel art that fits within the mobile display. So definitely look into that. Get that taken care of. It looks like there's writing in your icon. Can't really read it. I can kind of tell it looks like a guitar, so that possibly works. Looking at your actual thumbnails. We have chat, live chat, 7-string. Looks like some of the videos they just look like screenshots versus actual custom thumbnails. You might want to consider coming up with a custom thumbnail. Also, when you do redo your channel art, you want to try to create some contrast, some separation between your text and what's going on behind it. So I would try to find a way, drop shadow or do a contrasting color in the actual name so people can see that a little bit better. Taking a look here, one thing on thumbnails, try to avoid putting text in the lower right hand corner because the timestamp always obscures whatever you have going on down there, and on mobile the timestamp kind of takes up a lot more room and covers up more stuff, so that's something to consider as well. And then I would just try to find some consistency in the style of your thumbnails. Like I said, you're doing some things here, you're doing some text here, then these just look like screenshots from the videos. Looks like you are... The other thing is consistency. If you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, you might want to consider doing videos more frequently. It looks like you just did a video today. But it's been like a month, 2 months since you did previous videos. Definitely want to try to be a little more consistent, maybe a little more frequent than that to grow your channel, to let YouTube know that you are being active and trying to grow on the platform. Morzelium Rex said the letters are a bit hard to see. Yes, I agree. I definitely think there needs to be a rework there on that channel art, and you know, get some contrast, get some resizing, so people can appreciate what it is that you're trying to show them there. Elite Jamaica Fisher channel. I feel like quitting. Why do you feel like quitting? What's going on with your channel? I think you said you were starting a second, you had started a separate channel, right? Were you having issues with strikes? Is that what the problem was? You are absolutely welcome, Metal X. Video Zeus, hello to you as well. Elite Jamaica, if every day was a good day, there'd be no good days. I do recall in the previous live stream you were having trouble with that channel. Let's see. You know what, guys? I think we got through all the channel reviews, and I think we're gonna wrap it up. If you have not joined the Facebook group, I definitely recommend you come hang out with us on Facebook. We are trying to grow that group. Good conversation over there with like-minded creators trying to improve just like you. I'm in it every day, so it's a good place to kind of catch up and ask questions if you run into them. And also, did I throw that in there? Let me throw that in there. That guy right there. Oh, I think I just threw it in there twice. Oops. Oh, well, what are you going to do? Also, after every live stream on Wednesday nights, we do this thing called the live stream after party over on Discord. Discord is basically like a chat room kind of environment. Creative Fundamentals does have its own Discord. So even if you can't hang out tonight, we don't stay in there for a ton of time, but it's an opportunity for me to kind of get off camera and relax, but still carry on the conversation with you guys, which is nice. So if you haven't joined the Discord, at least pop over and join, say hello quick. And it's another way for us to communicate if we ever have a challenge in trying to communicate on YouTube. So it's definitely a handy tool. Completely free to join. You just you sign up, and it's a chat room. There's an app that goes with it if you want to get alerts. You know, I have the app and I get alerts and stuff like that. So we have a bunch of standard groups that you can come in and hang out with. In addition to the live stream after party, there is one that's dedicated to all of our fine patrons that is only accessible by patrons as well. So definitely some options over there. So love to see you guys at least stop over and hang out with us for a little while, talk some shop, and we can grow that as well. Now, is this guy right here. Way too many things open, but heading over to Discord right now. Hope to see you guys there. I will talk to you guys, well, maybe in a couple seconds later.